What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Aqua Supreme back with another video, and today's video is going to be all about your Bristlenose Plecos. Before this video starts, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe and leave a comment. I'm going to start off with what are Bristlenose Plecos, just for those people who do not know what they are. Bristlenose ancestris are the other name, or ancestris is the other name. They are part of the Plecostomus family and they are catfish basically. They have these sucker mouths that they use to stick on the surface of your ornaments or whatever you have, your wood or your plants inside of your tank, and the glass of your tank. So that is what they do. You won't ever see them, or you hardly see them free swimming. They just swim from place to place to stuck their mouths on a surface. So that is the most free swimming that they do. They do sorry about that, but they do. That is basically what Bristlenose Plecos are. They are very cool alien looking type of fish. Well, the males, I'll get into that later on. So they are something different, and they are excellent algae cleaners. They are known as your, well, they're not your algae cleaners. They do a very good job on cleaning the glass of your tank. So cleaning all those diatom algae and that green dust algae, they like to nibble on that and eat that. So that is how they clean your tank essentially. They do not clean your tank in any other way. They do not eat fish waste or anything like that. They are just an algae cleaning or algae eating fish, and you also have to provide them with some nutrients, but I'll get into that later on. So that is all about your Bristlenose Plecos. It is also important to know that these are part of the Plecostomus family, but they do stay smaller. They get to about that 5 inches mark, 4 to 5 inches mark, and that is basically 12 to 15 centimeters. So they get about that big. Not that big at all compared to your normal Plecostomus, which get to a meter size. So they do get massive. These stay small, so that is the good thing about them. So I have kept Bristlenose Plecos in the past, in my past aquarium hobby fish journey. I've kept them, but I haven't gone into depth with them. I've never fully grown out a Bristlenose Pleco. I bought some recent stock. I do have, which I'll show in a later video. I do have some normal Bristlenose Plecos. I have about 9 of them that I bought as juveniles. Well, technically babies. They were at a 1 inch mark, 2 centimeters, so technically still babies. Anyway, continue on from there. Then I do have your super red Bristlenose Plecos. Also bought them as juveniles. So I have them. I have a few blue eye lemon Bristlenose Plecos, a few long fin blue eye lemon Bristlenose Plecos. I will show you all of this later on. I haven't updated you guys on all the Plecos that I do have, but I will show that later on. For now, I'm just telling you guys what I do have. And then I do have some long fin common Bristlenose Plecos, and they're all still alive. I haven't lost any, so I'm very happy about that. And I do have currently, I do have a pair. Yes, I have a pair of common Bristlenose Plecos, and they've recently bred for me, and I kept all the babies alive, and I've kept them alive from not killing each other, so I'm happy about that. And I do know a thing or two about Bristlenose Plecos. Working in a pet shop, we care for these type of fish every single day, so I do gain a lot of experience that I'd never gain, or not as fast as having my own fish room. So I'm very happy about that. That means I can help you guys with the information that I have and that I've learned throughout these past few months. I'm so off topic. Let's continue. So it is important to know with the males and females is that they do look different. So you'll never have to worry about sexing them out like you do with your L number Plecos or your normal Plecostomus. You don't have to worry about that. Your females look like normal Plecostomus and your males do get those bristles. I'll try and get a video of My male Bristlenose Plecos that I do have at the moment, he has long bristles on his nose, so you'll clearly see the difference. Try and get a video of both of them, but it is important to know that you're only going to see that difference when they reach sexual maturity. So most of the time when you buy them in a local fish store or from a breeder, you are going to get them as juveniles, being about 2 inches, that is 3 centimeters more or less. So you aren't going to be able to tell the difference between males and females until they reach sexual maturity, which is going to be about a year to a year and a half time. So you are going to have to wait quite some time. That's why if you want to breed with these fish, I would definitely recommend, if you do not want to wait as long, to get a breeding pair. Start off from there, nice and quick, nice and easy, nice and fast. So that is what I would recommend with these guys. Other than that, if you just want a normal algae cleaning fish and looking for a male or female, you can buy a few and then chuck them in the tank, not chuck them, put them in the tank, place them into a tank, and then wait about a year's time and you'll be able to tell the difference between the two. As I mentioned earlier, with all the Bristlenose Plecos that I do have at the moment, you do get a wide variety of Bristlenose ancestors. You get your commons, your albinos, your blue eye lemons, your super reds, and then you get into the more rare range. While in South Africa they are rare, and that is your honeycombs, your peppermints, your starlights, those type, your green dragons. Those are very rare in South Africa. I'm trying to get my hands on them, but it is so difficult. So if any of my viewers in South Africa or like can ship those type of ancestors that I just mentioned, please, that would help out a lot because I'm struggling to find them. So yes, that is based on that. You do get a wide variety. You do get your short fin and long fin variants in those species that I just mentioned. So getting into Bristlenose Plecos tank conditions, so the tank's requirements that they do need, that is going to be a minimum tank size of about 2 foot, which is 60 centimeters, around that mark. That is going to be the minimum. I'm really not too sure. People say that that is the minimum for one Bristlenose Pleco, but I've seen a lot of breeders keep them in 2 foot and keep about 7 of them. They're not full grown yet, but I have 7 common Bristlenose Plecos currently in 1 2 foot. Maybe they're okay because of their size, and once they reach that sexual maturity size, the aggression is going to get much worse, which I'll have to see from there. But it is recommended for you to have 1 Bristlenose Pleco per 2 foot. Then going on to my next tip, which I mentioned earlier, is going to be have to have a lot of hiding spaces. These fish are nocturnal. They do like the dark. They do like to hide, especially when in the wild. Let's say there are predators. They like to go into their caves or in rock crevices or whatever. So they do like to hide. Have a lot of hiding spaces. Have some decorations in your tank. Have rocks. Have wood. Wood, I would definitely recommend you have a piece of wood, whether it be spider wood, driftwood, mapani wood, you name it, all types of woods. Definitely have a piece of wood inside of your tank because they do rasp on that piece of wood, and that is good for their gut. Have some minerals in there, and they do nibble on the biofilm that grows on top of your wood. So definitely recommend you having a piece of driftwood. Not recommend, I tell you to have a piece of wood inside of your tank. It is an essential for Bristlenose Plecos. Moving on to their water parameters, Bristlenose Plecos are not like your L number Plecos. They aren't very finicky. They do not require soft water or a specific range of water. They can handle a wide variety of water parameters, but it is important or best to keep them in that neutral range. So you are going to want to keep them in a pH level of 6 to 7.5. You do not want hard water like you want with your cichlids. So softer water but more neutral, and they can fluctuate between those. As long as you have it in that neutral type of range, then they are going to be happy, they are going to be thriving. Temperature range, as I said, they are hardier fish, so they can tolerate wide variations, wide temperatures, a wide amount of temperatures. So for Fahrenheit, I would recommend 78 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and then for Celsius 22 to 26, around that mark is where you want to keep them at. They do not like cold water. They are not a cold water fish, so do not put them with goldfish, or make sure you have a heater inside of your tank. They cannot do cold water, and they do not like hot water. So your discus temperatures, that is pushing it. You do not want to do that to your fish. You are going to stress them out, but I have seen people keep them with discus, so try at your own risk. But that is the recommendations. Those temperature readings are the recommendations that I would give to you guys. Now moving on to their diet, what I feed them and what most people recommend you to feed them is some vegetables, so some cucumber, some green beans, some zucchini, anything like that. They'll eat that, they love that, and it does flush out their guts, those veggies. So it is good to feed that to your Bristlenose Plecos. You'll literally see you place it with a piece of metal, stainless steel inside of the tank, or you do get those skewers that you use. You place the cucumber, let's say, inside of the tank, and they'll just literally jump on it and start nibbling on it. So it is very good for them. You also do get algae wafers, many types of brands. Try and get a decent brand. Algae wafer. The algae wafer does have a lot of vitamins in them that are good for your Bristlenose Plecos. So algae wafers, I would also recommend you to feed that. So your main diet is going to be the driftwood that they nibble on, your algae wafers, your vegetables, and then your algae that you have inside of your tank. That is the diet I would recommend you feed. Another thing I would say about your Bristlenose Plecos, not feed them those tropical wafers. You do get tropical wafers for your loaches or your corridoras or bottom dwelling fish. So do not feed that to your Bristlenose Plecos. The protein will bloat them. It's too much for them. So keep away from your protein pellets, your tropical wafers. Stick to your algae wafers. And then moving on to my final tip of Bristlenose Pleco keeping is going to be their tank mates. So Bristlenose Plecos can go with any type of fish. They do get aggressive towards the same type of fish, or if there is a piece of food laying at the bottom, they might get aggressive towards other bottom dwelling fish. So that is the only thing about that. But other than that, they do go with any other type of fish. So your angels, your tetras, your guppies, whatever you name it, they do go well with them. Just make sure the fish that you put them in with, let's just say you put them in with an Oscar and the Oscar is full grown, the full grown Oscar is going to eat your Bristlenose Pleco. So make sure that that Bristlenose Pleco cannot fit into the other fish's mouth, because that is not going to work. Then you rather want a bigger normal plecostomus other than a Bristlenose Pleco. I actually forgot about this, but another important thing to know about Bristlenose Plecos is they are scaleless fish, so they are finicky, such as your loaches or your corridoras to medicines. So half dosage, if you are going to dose some type of medicine source into a tank, half dosage for them, and they do not go well with aquarium salt, so keep aquarium salt away from them, and half dosages with your Bristlenose Plecos, as they are scaleless fish. So that is going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully you learned something, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you did watch to the end, to this part of the video, and thank you so much for doing that. That does help out quite a lot, so thank you for that. And then till next time, peace.